Hi everybody, welcome to Kate's Space. I am going to do a quick flip through of these three little neutral journals. Now, if the people who asked for one don't want these, then they'll go into my Etsy shop on the 1st of September at 6 p.m, which is when I'm going to do a restock. This one here is spoken for, I'm pretty sure, but I want to do a flip through so the lady who has asked for it, I want to make sure that she definitely likes it before she purchases it. These two will be the ones that are available, and there's two people that have sort of first dibs. Joe, if you're watching, you need to let me know if you want one, and if so, which one. And then the other person is Sarah. You email me, you will get whatever's left if you want it. So yeah, anyway, otherwise they're going to go into my Etsy shop tomorrow. So let's just do this one. So this one is made with a little reckoner, and I did a little video sort of decorating this one. It's been Mod Podged and spray sealed with an acrylic sealer to keep it a little bit more protected, and then it just has this doily over it because I didn't really want to mess too much with the book cover because I really liked it. So it's pretty much the same as the ones that I did for my Raindrop Lila guest design team slot. So there is some Raindrop Lila digitals in here, there's some Ruby and Pearl as well, and then mostly it is vintage and antique pages. So this bit at the front is exactly the same, this little sort of pocket that I've made, and this is a little photo sort of out of Raindrop Lila's Victorian Ladies in White, and behind that is a piece of the original book, which is from the I think about the 40s, 30s or 40s. This is some Italian rag paper. Right, so we'll just flick through. I've put this blue rose on here, which is a stamp I have, and I've stamped that onto some very old end papers. Another little photo in here with this little antique lace belly band. I have reinforced the majority of pages with them being very old, like this is 1800s. I'm not sure how old that is. They're delicate, but I have reinforced the ones I thought that really needed it. A little seal here with some avocado dyed sari ribbon, and then I've used tape to mend any little tears. This is from the that might be 1914 New Zealand Gazette, and in here is just a little tag backed with some very old book page and a piece of New Zealand ephemera from 1886 in that lace pocket. So that again is some very old lace. Another beautiful old page with the natural staining on it, and this is one of my photos, one of my favorites, of the swans on the lake or river. It's a copy because I love it. I can't use the original. So yeah, this is probably not super old, but it's not, you know, it would be at least 80s. It would be vintage. Tea stained copy paper, which is it's more like drawing paper. It's a heavy paper. The musical manuscript. Yeah, so lots of old papers with foxing and stains on them. Again, the little decorated glassine bag with the snippet, and in here is a little sort of journaling card, which is printed on both sides, and a piece of embossed card held in with one of those Tim Holtz clips, which I've nearly pretty much run out of. Oh, and we have a space here. All right, well that will be a surprise for you when I will put something in there. Don't want to flap around. So this is a little bit of a flip out. I'm trying to remember if I made that a pocket or not. No, I didn't. So that's just a flip out. More space for a photo or journaling. Very old birthday book. Some beautiful music paper, Mayday. the very old lace tuck spot with a little, what do you call those, flashcards. This is the 1888 New Zealand Gazette. Some more old book, manuscript, doily, some old end page. So mostly blank for decorating to your own desires. And here is some New Zealand ephemera from the 40s. Some vintage wallpaper there and a vintage wallpaper tuck. Oh look, another hole. Okay, so this is what happens when you're doing 3 things at the same time, but I will get that sorted. And this is not a tuck, it's decoration. Some old lace, more music paper, some French, very old French book page, one of the cards from Raindrop Lila's Pretty Neutrals, which I've stamped and just popped on the reckoner. So this is part of the reckoner book. Again, that's quite thin and probably a little bit fragile, but it has been strengthened. In here we have some faux tickets. They're from the Graphics Fairy, just because I wanted to add to the neutral sort of thing. And here is the dried flowers. So that's Ko-Fi, dried Ko-Fi flowers, and they're wrapped in, that is some very old glassine there. That's why it's torn, because it's super, super old. So that tucks into that beautiful lace pocket there. The other swan photograph or copy of it. Oh, I suppose I should measure this and let you know what size it is. This is this is a ruby and pearl digital image that I've turned into a pocket. And there's one of the tags and one of the New Zealand checks, 1929. Let me just slip into there. And yeah, so that is that. So 2 things need to go in there, and I will deal with that. Here's the little envelope, handmade envelope out of some old, very old music paper that I've reinforced where I can, because it does tend to tear, and I guess that is the problem using these old pages. Some very old lace from that little baby's bonnet, and in here is, okay, so this is one of the little, just a tiny little booklet. It's made up of old book pages. There's a little tuck spot here made with some 1906 ledger, which has got a couple of little plain tags and a little cigarette card with a little puppy on it. Another one of my photographs, old photographs from the 40s, and that's an original that I've stuck in. Some vintage tickets tucked in there. One of my faux slides that I made with a little picture in there and a little snippet. That's from some other bonnet, I think. My antique shop was having a bit of a sale on like their dolls or baby sort of things. And then a tiny little journaling card here from, and it's printed on both sides on that kind of linen cardstock. And that's the back. So that's the little book that goes in that envelope. And there's this journaling card that I've made for this one. As I clean up, what will happen is the things that I've made or I find will get slipped into these journals, so there will be a little bit more, or into these envelopes. So a little journaling card from the Raindrop Lila Pretty Neutrals. This is a Ruby and Pearl digital, and that's backed onto that very old blue end paper. And then a little handmade envelope made out of some 1800s girl's own paper. It's got nothing in it. And then the little journaling card that's in here with the, it's just slipped into the photo corners. So that is what's in that piece of sort of lovely paper with the Tim Holtz embossing on it. So that is, that's sort of the blue. Okay, the next one is this little one, and this is, I mean, they're pretty much the same. This is a very old Leonardo da Vinci book from the 20s, I think. Oh, 1913. So again, similar, some crinkle seam binding to close it, Mod Podge and spray sealed. I'll measure this one. This one measures about 15 centimeters by 10, and they all have about a 1-inch spine. So again, some lace down there, down the spine, and a little doily. Inside, the same sort of thing, couple of little images. This backed onto old book page, that's from Raindrop Lila, and that's the same from the ladies, Victorian ladies in white. Some Italian rag paper, and then the little belly band, and then very, very similar, the swan, the seal, wax seal, the little tag, and the 1800s, 1883 New Zealand ephemera. Another little photo of some Victorian sort of ladies, lined paper, tea-dyed paper, the very old New Zealand Gazette, and the glassine bag. And this has a little tag backed with book page, some embossed paper, and a little bit of music manuscript, vintage music manuscript. Right, so keep on going. So they all have 3 signatures. I don't know how many pages, decent amount. That's some washi tape because there was a tear in this very old page. This is 1914. Another little flash card with a little cluster on it, tucked into that vintage lace or antique lace. A little tuck here. It's just some tea-dyed paper that's folded up with a little tiny sort of card there. This is glued on to this page, poetry book. This flips out. This is a ruby and pearl image, whoops, and it's backed with some really old book page. Okay, so another, the envelope flip with some New Zealand ephemera in here, and also there's a bit of embossed wallpaper and a piece of book page. So this is a handmade envelope. I made it, but it's made out of very old paper, typing paper or something like that. And there's another journaling card slash tag tucked into that wallpaper, and that is a ruby and pearl image. This is from the book, so that is a Leonardo painting, I think. Yeah, so this page is from the book that the book cover is from. The tag, so one of the tags that I made, and a check, one of the New Zealand checks, 1928. This is an old French invoice from 1938. This is a handmade faux cabinet card. My birthday book, tea stained. Some French papers, book page, old book page. Another little pocket, and this has got the dried flowers, the Ko-Fi flowers in there. And here's a flip made with the Raindrop Lila Pretty Neutrals kit, and the other side of that. So yeah, kind of chunky, not too bad. I tried not to overdo it. Okay, so this one again has the little booklet with the Tim Holtz. This is actually made out of coffee dyed or tea dyed sort of like drawing, sketching paper. And tucked into here is just a little few scraps of very old paper. Oh, that's all old paper stapled at the top. And a spare one of the photos. And another little image backed with book page, and another image backed with book page. They're all from Raindrop Lila's kit. And I need to hurry up. And again, another envelope decorated with this image, which is from Raindrop Lila's kit. And same in here, a journaling card and a wee little book. Same things in there pretty much, just a little booklet using up sort of scraps. Okay, so that is the cream. So she's tied up with cream, and then this is the grey, and this one's a slightly different shape, it's taller. This one's 18 by 10, and this is made from a very old book called The Imitation of Christ, and I really love this part of it. I have cut it down. It was probably a little bit bigger than this, but I cut sort of there was a big faded bit here. Right, so again, there's calico. Oh, actually no, that's some taffeta there from my old wedding dress and some very old sort of crochet lace, I guess you'd call it. So again, the same at the front, a lovely sort of card. That's actually just some beautiful scrapbooking card that I had. This is Ruby and Pearl. Okay, so let's just flick through. Again, pretty much the same, not exactly the same. The same ephemera pretty much. Ooh, we're upside down there. This has an envelope that's been opened up from 1947 as a page. So I'll just speed up because we don't have a lot of time. This one's been backed, this picture. Some old sellotape here and there, that's very old music. That's the bottom part of that French invoice. Some more old music. This is some very old sort of end paper from the New Zealand Gazette. And that's the New Zealand Gazette page, doily. Another envelope. This one's not handmade. This is sort of the size I took it off. Another little card and some New Zealand ephemera from the 40s. Tucked in the envelope. And there's a tuck on the other side, so I haven't done a wallpaper tuck like in the other ones, and there's some old French book page and a rusty paper clip there. So this one's kind of got the grey seam binding, as you can see. Another little card which is backed with some very old book page, and another card backed with book page. There's the little flash card. Again, I've strengthened the pages I thought needed it. There's the tag and the vintage check in there. This is rag paper from Italy, from the 1800s, I imagine. Well, if it's rag paper. 1888 New Zealand Gazette, an old photo of mine, or a copy of an old photo of mine. And there's the glassine bag, and that has some old Italian book page, which I think is rag paper, and some embossed card. This flips out, and this one is a tuck spot, so you can actually slide something in there. I'm not going to. And that's the New Zealand Gazette. And the end page is the same scrapbook paper as what this is at the front. So that's that one. And again, we have the little embossed sort of booklet. Has a faux cabinet card in. that I made, and 2 little pieces of faux ephemera that are from Ruby Pearl, and the little portrait as well. And the envelope, so this envelope was already made. This is from my 100-day project, but I've tied some of the grey crinkle seam binding, and it's got a little heart charm. That's a Ruby and Pearl image. This one is made with very, very old papers, and so I have reinforced it as best I can. It won't handle a whole lot of mucking around with. And here is the little booklet, which again is pretty much the same as the others. So there you go. If you've come over from Etsy, because these are in my Etsy store, then I guess you can just flick to the one you're interested in looking at. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I hope you like those, and I will hear from you ladies soon. And if I don't, then yeah, these will be in my Etsy shop on the 1st of September at 6 PM New Zealand time. Right, thanks so much. See you later. Bye.